The platinum industry has gone through a very difficult time. I think what happened at Marikana was probably the worst case scenario, that could easily have played itself out. The problem, that you then get is that, a number of these CEOs will come back to you and they'll say, they actually believe that this could have been avoidable. Now that begs the question is, why didn't anyone do anything about it prior to it happening? Now that it's happened, you do see relations, in particular labor and management, and all three stakeholders, including government, have been more progressive than they were before. A number of companies had been complaining about their treatment with the DMR, but of late, they seem to be all moving in the same direction. Anglo Platinum has decided, to cut back on significant production at some of its Rustenburg assets. The market, everybody knows, has obviously been in surplus for some time since, at the slowdown in Europe and for platinum in particular. That was a problem because most of your platinum is actually consumed in mainland Europe rather than in China and the United States. There's also significant recycling that goes in, that's coming in from Japan and your other, depressed economies also into the same market. And that obviously forced the platinum price to go down and you were in surplus. Now, the problem is that rebalancing of, if you want to call it, the equilibrium there between the demand and supply does take some time. And in some instances, significant cutbacks have to actually happen at the production side of the business, and not because if you cannot have a sustained uptick on your supply side, on your demand side, the supply side is what's going to have to correct the market. So that's effectively what Anglo and some of these producers who were actually producing at uneconomical prices were trying to do. So if they don't do that, the market will effectively remain unbalanced, and what you'd find is that SA producers are basically subsidizing the rest of the world because we're producing it at a higher cost than what they're paying for it. So that's money coming out of the SA assets. Now, that point is where Anglo has to play a more significant role because it's easily the most dominant player in that industry. Now, if it can actually reduce some of those unprofitable ounces from coming to the market itself will easily correct, and you'll start seeing an improvement in platinum prices. And that will obviously translate to more sustainable jobs and, better working relationships, not what we had the past few years. Europe is not as bad as we thought. That's the first point. So, as soon as we start seeing some significant recovery in the Eurozone economies, I would expect the platinum price to react positively. China has been doing well all along, and it's been it hasn't actually translated into a significant movement in the platinum price. This is exactly showing the point I was saying, that until Europe actually starts to work, you're not going to see significant movement in the platinum price. Now, if, say for example, that happens in the next 2 years, then that's probably what you have to target as the period to see sustained improvement in the platinum sector.